What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan01 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at something brand new, and I'm so excited because today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Infernac universe, Magneous. And this is basically the Transformers take on the Rock Lords, I guess, from what I can understand. And I don't know anything about the Rock Lords specifically, but no, we're taking a look at the Rock Lords now. We're getting the Rock Lords in Transformers now. Again. Now, this figure was kind of a guilty purchase because I did have the Rock Lords as a kid, but I know nothing about them. They were just sitting in a toy bin, and my, like, from, uncles and aunts past, they, in an old toy bin, and that was basically sitting in there, and that was one of the Transformers that I grew up with. And if I'm not mistaken, it was like a green jade looking rock. I don't remember everything about it, but that's the gist of what I can give you. So, anywho, we're gonna move this off to the side here for a moment. So, in terms of the packaging here, it's kind of neat. You got yourself like a off-road SUV kind of looking vehicle here that's looking kind of like something that you would see in Transformers, I guess. And it's basically just kind of all like bouldered up, I guess, and all that. And on the side here, I do like this. This was kind of what sold me on buying this, was the artwork of this figure on the side of the box. I like this artwork. I really do like this. So, on the back of the packaging here, okay. I'm gonna be honest here. We had weaponizers, true thing that we needed in Transformers. Then we had the fossilizers, gave us a couple of weapons for the Beast Wars characters. And now we have armorizers? Why? I genuinely want to know why. I don't understand. I don't understand the whole need to take apart a figure and turn it into something else that does not need to exist. So, we will not be taking a look at the Armorizer feature until this guy arrives. Yes, Animated Universe Bumblebee, it is on the way. I ended up... Okay, if you really want the true story about it, there was some kid who had the last Bumblebee and in his hand at the checkout stand, and I couldn't bring myself to ask the kid, hey, would you mind if I bought that from you? And instead, I went and looked around, and I saw this guy was on the shelf, and on top of it, there was somebody who was willing to sell me an animated Bumblebee for a reduced price. So, once again, I'm not going to complain. So, and on the side here, once again, we have the other side of the Legacy artwork. I do not have another Deluxe class with me on hand at current moment to finish this artwork, but we will finish it when we show off Bumblebee. So, and that's pretty much it for the packaging. So, and bringing the figure back on in, I think this figure was okay. I'm gonna be straightforward with y'all's on this figure. It's good in concept, okay? And on top of it, we don't have to break it apart in order to have it be transformable. That's another thing that I do like about these guys. So, the Armorizer feature does not have to be a thing if you do not want it to be a thing. The weaponizers, you had to do a lot of parts forming. With this, you don't need to. I love the fact that they actually did this. This is something that I do like, is the fact that you have the ability to have just a robot in here without having to have all of the pieces have to come off. I do like that. It is very, very nice. So, with that being said, he does come with one weapon, and it does come... Actually, I wanted to show this off really quickly. To whoever came up with this design really quickly, or maybe not even design, whoever came up with this idea, you guys deserve an extra gold star in your paycheck. And I say this because, you know how you guys, when we would get like accessories packed in boxes, and they would always be in like gray ornate paper, or at least within the more recent days, it's been like a gray ornate paper or tissue paper. Well, this time, they spruced it up. Like, seriously, look at this. I love the little addition of Autobot symbols here to make it just a little bit that better. And I almost didn't notice it, but then I opened it up and I was like, wait a second, this paper looks so much more different than the other ones that we've gotten. So I do like the fact that they are now starting to incorporate something cool along with the brand new, somewhat ideal packaging, to which I do want to make quite slight notions to. This was their their response to the theft. Just make the cardboard thicker and remove a tab. Like, seriously, there used to be a tab that locked this in, and now there's no tabs. So, Hasbro, you're doing this to yourself. I personally don't agree with it. I don't like it. I like having the windows. I like having the old packaging. I like having, or at the very least, this, instead of a wide open packaging where you can seriously just rip the package and or rip things to get to the figure. I don't like that. So, if you're thinking about going back to a different packaging style, Hasbro, go back to, like, maybe this, or maybe go back to, like, this, or even this. This is Studio Series 86 Slug, by the way. But I'm not liking the new packaging. So, anywho, first off, we're going to take a look at his weapon, and it just tabs right in here onto this roof port right there, and that's pretty much just it for that tab for the weapon. But yeah, I do like the weapon sort gimmick, I guess you could say. I do like the fact that it is, you know, like, they're not going for perfect here. They're definitely not going for perfect, because if you were going for perfect, there wouldn't be holes or gaps or anything like that. But when you have a lava rock, there is holes and gaps. So, in my mind, this is pretty accurate to what a rock lord could be. So, we're going to move this off to the side here really quickly, and we're going to take a look at the truck mode. And I think the truck mode okay. The concept of the truck mode isn't bad, but when you have it in hand, it's pretty bad. But at the same time, it's also not the worst design that they could have come up with. I think this looks way better than Wave 2's Shard. So, I mean, I think this is a way better idea than a helicopter. But anyways, so basically that's it for the vehicle mode. I mean, other than this nice silver grille and the weirdly painted rock portions, I mean, and when I say weirdly painted, I mean, they seriously could have just left this thing in its plastic gray, and they didn't have to paint anything, but they chose to. So anywho, that's pretty much it for that. So let's get into some scale comparisons, because y'all know we love them scale comparisons. Here he is with Legacy United Core Class Tasmania Kid. Here he is next to Core Class Beast Machines Universe Cheetor, whom I still can't get to stand correctly. Okay, that's better. Sort of. And finally, here he is next to Legacy Animated Optimus Prime. And honestly, I'm digging this Legacy United stuff here. I'm totally digging it. Like this stuff here, I'm digging it. So, anywho. Now that we've gotten those scale comparisons out of the way, let's get on into the transformation of this guy. And now the transformation of this guy is pretty dead stupid simple. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, I like to do this just to get this out of the way, which is just kind of come to the front here a little bit, and you're just going to kind of just wiggle it a bit till you can loosen up some spots here. And when I say loosen up some spots, you're going to want to come to this portion and just kind of loosen it up. There is 2 tabs right here, and they do go into spots right here and right here, but it's very difficult to show off on camera. So you're going to want to loosen this up, bring this out, forward. Do the same thing on the other side. Just bring this out, loosen it up, bring this out to the side, and now we're working with some. Now we got stuff to work with here. So next, you're going to come to the legs, and you're going to... okay, I find this very difficult to do, but you're going to split the legs just enough. Just enough to basically loosen them up and bring them up forward. So that way you can do this. And then split them the rest of the way. Take these panel pieces and fold them down. Do the same thing on the other side with that. And there you have the legs done. And I think it's ugly, but I love ugly for rocks. And only for rocks. But next, you're going to come to this portion here. Flip up the head. And then bring in the wheels of the car mode. You're going to hear them tab and untab and do lots of other non-fun stuff. Take the arms once again. Just kind of splay them out a little bit when you're bringing this down. Just enough. And then gonna kind of angle it up a bit, because okay, this is the armorizer piece coming into play, but you're gonna lift these up, and there is a tab section. It's very difficult, but let's see if I can get this on camera. Arms are gonna go into it, and they're gonna tab into place, and then you're going to bring it all the way down, and that's going to pretty much just lock everything into place. Rotate the arms at the shoulders, bring them down, take the hands, flip them down, just like so. Do the same thing on the other side, flip it down, bring this down, and we're not quite done yet. We're going to give him his weapon. And there you have Magneous in... Whoa, hold on here. Whoa, that's not supposed to happen. That's not supposed to happen. Not on camera. So, here you have Magneous in his robot mode. And I think he's cute. I think he's cute, and I love it. I love it. I think it's adorable. And the reason I say it's adorable is because you saw what kind of nice and neat and uniformity there was to it. And you also saw how easy it was to transform this thing and not have to literally do this to transform it. Like, seriously, I did not have to rip off parts to transform it. I mean, obviously you saw me rip off parts, but they did not need to be ripped off in order for me to transform it, is my point. So, put his arms back on here. And basically now we can just take a look at the robot mode. And honestly, I love the way that this thing looks. I mean, it's amazing what minimal paint can do, and it's also amazing what a great mold can do. Now, on this channel, I normally chastise figures for not having enough paint. Like, there's not enough paint on it. But this is where I think this figure shines. I think he benefits from having very little paint. Because, I mean, what a rock doesn't have, you know, too much of a shine to it. I mean, not unless it's a very specialty rock, where you're going to be where it would be considered a rare gem or a rare type of, you know, geological thing, like a diamond or something like that, where it actually shines and brings color to things. Where this, I think it benefits from having practically zero paint on it. I mean, obviously you can tell what has been painted, the gray portions and this paint portion here, and the eyes. The gray portions of him and the eyes of the figure and the knees. That's it. That's all I find. So I mean, honestly, if like, for truly, like right now, this guy's getting already surpassing a 7. So don't even go there, people. So now let's get back into scale comparisons, because we all love those. So here he is next to Core Class Cheetor? Beast Machines Universe Cheetor, that is. Here he is next to Tasmania Kid. If I can get him to stand properly. And finally, here he is next to Voyager Animated Prime. Now, what am I going to rank this guy? Well, I'm going to rank him... I'm gonna give him an 8.2. I give him an 8.2 because, number one, the transformation wasn't pure hell. Two, it's amazing to see what a figure with very minimal paint can do. And this honestly has surpassed some thoughts going on in my head about this. So I mean, it could be worse, but I mean, seriously, a quote unquote what is it, a armorizer, right? That's what they called it, an armorizer. Yeah, dude, this is not too bad of a figure, and honestly, I'm really pleased that I managed to pick this guy up. Now, I did not pick him up at Planet Toys, but I'm going to give this guy... The reason why... Well, hold on here. I'm not going to say why I didn't pick him up at Planet Toys, but I can't give this thing anything less than an 8.2. The vehicle mode is pretty garbage, but I mean, I knew that that when you're going into it with these figures, these particular types of figures, and that's fine. The paint job is minimal, and it works for this thing. The gimmick that it's supposed to be showing off is not, it doesn't hinder the transformation, which I do enjoy. And the transformation itself was fluent. So, I mean, there's not really much else that I can say other than this figure is quite nice. And if I have to add another one in there, the design of this figure is wonderful. Like, I mean, look at that head sculpt. I love the way that this thing looks. So, anywho, this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to check out Planet Toys, a world built by collectors, where if you do sign up with them, you can get yourself 10% off of your first purchase. I know, right? 10% off. Really surprising, but... Anywho, this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to check out Optination Reviews, Beastman Reviews, Riveted Reviews, Jordy's Rail Videos, Patrick with a Y, iStar552, Bravely GG, and Take Along Productions, as I know they all do some amazing work, and have some amazing work down in the pipelines ready to go for you. And this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.